good first rehearsal. We appreciate you guys all. Let's give ourselves a hand real quick. All right. Woo! Let's get good. All right. Apologies. We've got a few late arrivals. Governor and team are meeting. They're meeting for just a few more minutes. So if you will, please take your seats. Get comfortable with who your neighbors are. I apologize for the false start. Even in a military operation that started D-minus 72 hours, we still have some foul up. So apologies, but enjoy the fellowship for just 1 second. Recon.
The official party for this event includes Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the First Gentleman Brian Sanders, Brigadier General Chad Bridges, Adjutant General of the State of Arkansas, and Mr. Wallace Smith, VP and Director of Federal Services, Garver LLC. At this time, please rise.
Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to bow and pray with me. Lord, thank you for having us gather upon this day. Lord, I pray for this ceremony, and I pray for the process that will now begin. The impact that it will not only give to the Arkansas National Guard, to the soldiers that drill here, but Lord, to the economic impact of the communities surrounding Fort Chaffee. Lord, we pray now for our speakers. We thank you again for this day, and we pray all of this now in Jesus, your most beautiful name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We would like to extend a special welcome to the state senators and representatives, city mayors, Arkansas state constitutional officers, staff members of the U.S. congressional offices, general officers, key staff from the Arkansas Army National Guard, our soldiers, and all other community leaders in attendance. Today, we celebrate the construction of the new National Guard Readiness Center, a facility that adds to the rich history of Fort Chaffee. Since 20 September 1941, Fort Chaffee has played a key role in the Army training. Today, it's still a premier training site, providing some of the most innovative training in the Army. From its early days during World War II, Fort Chaffee has been one of the nation's key military installations. Fort Chaffee is a place where many thousands of young men and women have seen their first days of military service. The first soldiers to take advantage of the training space, which were about 90,000 at the time, were from the 6th, 14th, and 16th Armored Divisions. All three divisions were formed at Fort Chaffee, then went through 2 years of intense collective training, learning to operate as a battlefield team. All three divisions went on to serve in combat in the European theater, proving the effectiveness of their training. Following World War II, the 5th Armored Division moved to Fort Chaffee and conducted basic training for thousands of recruits and draftees in the 1950s. Later, Fort Chaffee served for several years as home of the Field Artillery Training Center, where the Army's newly designated cannoneers learned basic skills. From the early 1960s until 1987, Fort Chaffee was primarily a reserve component training site, hosting Army, National Guard, and Reserve components during their annual training periods. In 2011, Fort Chaffee was designated as one of the 11 National Guard regional collective training capability sites to serve as a regional capability installation that maximizes resources, supports cyclical and progressive readiness, while maintaining the core requirements of weapons qualifications as well as the fundamentals of individual, collective, and sustainment training. In 2023, Fort Chaffee was designated as a Level 1 training facility, one of 4 in the Army National Guard inventory. Also in 2023, Fort Chaffee was designated as a contingency mobilization force generation installation to serve as a possible mobilization platform in the event the nation is required to prepare for large-scale combat deployments. Today, Fort Chaffee encompasses over 65,000 acres of terrain for the collective training of combat units. Fort Chaffee is one of the top 5 training sites in the Army National Guard inventory, and the annual usage for Fort Chaffee is generally within the top 3 of all Army National Guard training sites. Now, without further ado, here to speak on behalf of Garver LLC's commitment to building the National Guard Readiness Center as the newest addition to Fort Chaffee, please join me in welcoming Mr. Wallace Smith from Garver LLC.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wallace Smith. I'm honored to stand before you here today representing Garver, the architect, engineer, or designer of record of this project for the groundbreaking today. First, I'd like to thank all of our elected officials here today. Thank you so much for coming, especially Governor Sanders, Congressman Westerman, thank you so much. All of our senior Arkansas Army National Guard leadership, General Bridges, our TAG, thank you all for coming out and to support the Arkansas Army National Guard today. We'd like to extend our appreciation too to some others, my very own architects and engineers who helped work on this project very diligently, the Arkansas Army National Guard CFMO staff who did a fantastic job, and then breaking that down further, even just the users and stakeholders of this future facility all worked together tirelessly and in collaboration together to make this a successful project. We're truly grateful for everyone's hard work. This project, as so often is the case, does not just represent a physical structure. It's a symbol of our commitment to supporting the men and women of the Arkansas Army National Guard who serve our country with such honor and distinction. It's going to provide them with the resources and the facilities that they need to continue their vital work, and we're just proud to be part of that effort. Lastly, I just want to express my deep gratitude to the community in general and the public for their ongoing support. We recognize that projects of this scale impact the local community, and we're grateful that this project benefits both the Arkansas Army National Guard and the broader local community in the long term. As we move forward to construction of this fantastic project, we're excited about the positive impacts the project will create for our service members and our state in general. Thank you again so much for being here today, and thank you all for being here to support our Arkansas Army National Guard. Thank you.
Hoorah.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to speak on Arkansas's commitment to the project and what it will mean to the National Guard family, please welcome Brigadier General Chad Bridges, the Adjutant General of the great state of Arkansas.
It is the great state of Arkansas, and it is a great day. It is a great day for Arkansas. It's a great day for the Arkansas National Guard. And thank you for being here to be a part of it. And thank you for your support to our soldiers, our men and women that wear this uniform. The vehicles that you see behind you, they exist to deter war. And if war is not deterred, they exist to fight and win our nation's wars. And because we have these equipment, and because we have these soldiers, we can respond in the homeland, in the state of Arkansas, as we've done a number of times this year and as we've done in the past. We are a part of a lineage of the militia that has existed in Arkansas since 1804. And so there is a rich history of this Arkansas National Guard doing its mission of fighting and winning our nation's wars and responding in the homeland. And I want to tell you, we're putting two treasures together. One, the treasure is Fort Chaffee. Number two is the treasure of the 142nd Field Artillery Brigade headquarters, 142nd Field Artillery Brigade. Not every state has a Fort Chaffee. Not every state has a 142nd Field Artillery Brigade. There's only two of those in the Army National Guard. One in, I told the governor, one in South Dakota and one in Arkansas. And not every state has a Fort Chaffee. You heard earlier, it's only one of every four. And so it is phenomenal under Governor Sanders' leadership and the tremendous and unwavering support of our federal congressional delegation. Thank you, Congressman Westerman, for being here, and our state legislature. And I want to acknowledge somebody that's not here, that would be here, but he has a duty, is Senator John Boozman. And so this project wouldn't happen without Senator John Boozman and his leadership and commitment. And so we acknowledge him, though he's got some business to do up in Washington D.C. today. Otherwise, he'd be here. All of our friends and partners out there, thank you. These people right here are why we're doing this. These soldiers out here that choose to put on the uniform, to wear this uniform and serve their state and nation as Arkansans. This is a phenomenal day for us. It is a phenomenal state and time that we live in. I appreciate the tremendous leadership of Governor Sanders and where we are going as a state. Number one. And so it is phenomenal. And so thank you for your support to the Arkansas National Guard. The Arkansas National Guard makes lives better in the state of Arkansas. It is a matchless treasure. It does something that no other organization in the state of Arkansas does. And so it does so because of these young men and women over here that choose to sacrifice and to serve. And so thank you and appreciate all of your support. And one more point. This is Arkansas companies working on Arkansas projects. So Garver and Nabholz Construction, there's just Arkansas all in this. And so with that, I will get off the stage, but I want to introduce the 47th governor of the state of Arkansas, the best governor in the nation, and someone that I'm energized to work for, Governor Sarah Sanders.
Thank you very much. He has to say I'm the best when I'm sitting right in front of him, and he knows at the end of the day I still get to make all the decisions between us, and so he has to say nice things while I'm present. But so grateful for your leadership and the incredible job that you are doing. General Bridges has brought such a great amount of focus to our retention and recruitment efforts here in the state of Arkansas, and we are seeing great things under his leadership, and that's because he leads the best National Guard members that you will find anywhere in the country. And so thank you for what you do, and certainly General Bridges for your leadership. And Wallace, thank you, and all of the team at Garver for your role and the important work that you're doing to make today possible. I also want to say hello and thank you to my good friend Congressman Westerman. You guys have been pretty busy lately, but we're glad to have you back home in Arkansas, and so thankful for everything that you're doing for our state and the way that you represent us in Washington. We never have to question where you are, what you're doing, or who you're fighting for, and we are so unbelievably thankful for everything that you do, and certainly the part that you played in helping make today possible. I also want to offer a huge thank you to our leadership team here, Colonel Cox, the commander of Fort Chaffee, and Brigadier Generals Henderson and Cox, for all of your hard work. You guys do such an excellent job day in and day out, and so we are very appreciative of everything that you're doing. It was just about a year ago that I had the opportunity to come here to this very spot and thank a brave group of guardsmen who were about to start a 2-month mission at our southern border. Luckily, we now have a president who's taking our border security seriously, and our illegal border crossings are down 99% in the Del Rio sector, where our guardsmen were just recently stationed. But on an earlier trip that I was there in that very place, I saw our guardsmen in action on the first group that we had that were serving at our southern border at a time when illegal crossings were at the highest ever. And I saw the dedication, I saw the commitment, and I was told over and over again by people from all over the country that you were the best prepared, the best trained, and you were making a huge difference in our national security. And thanks to our amazing Guard leadership and rank and file guardsmen, I know that we can count on you when we're in an emergency, whether it's a border crisis or a winter storm or a tornado, things that we've had to experience many times over the last couple of years. You have never once failed to show up and help get our state through some of our most difficult and trying moments. And today I'm proud to say that we are making sure that the best men and women in Arkansas also have the best facilities. As has been mentioned, this is Arkansas's first new Readiness Center in nearly 15 years. Considering we're still using Readiness Centers that date back to the Eisenhower administration, Fort Chaffee and the Artillery Brigade will have some of the best resources anywhere that you will find in the country. And this center won't just be great for training, learning, and R&R, but one of the things I love about it that makes it unique and special is that it will have areas that are dedicated to the families of our guardsmen as well, something that I know is incredibly important for each and every one of them. I've made no secret that I want Arkansas to be number one for our service members and their families, and not just while they're serving, but also when they're out of the military. We tell business leaders all the time that there's no better hire than an Arkansas veteran. And this new center helps us secure Fort Smith's place in Arkansas and America's national security. As we expand here at Fort Chaffee, we're also transforming Ebbing Air National Guard Base into an international pilot training facility. That bigger, stronger presence here in Fort Smith isn't just about our military readiness. It's also helping us transform this city and the entire River Valley's economy, making this an anchor for our entire state. And none of this would be possible were it not for the seamless cooperation between our local, state, and federal leaders. Fort Smith's leaders and business community have been tireless cheerleaders for these types of investments, and we wouldn't be here without that cooperation. My administration, and especially General Bridges and our new Secretary of Veterans Affairs, who many of you know well, Colonel Rob Ader, are amazing advocates for Arkansas service members. And as General Bridges pointed out, and we want to thank Senator Bozeman, played a critical role in this project, specifically stepping in to secure federal dollars and ensure that the Arkansas National Guard remains the best prepared anywhere in the country. And we know he would probably much rather be here with us than doing anything in Washington, even when it's important. But we're thankful for his leadership and willingness to stay there instead of come back home for this event. And to everyone who played a role in this new facility, we say thank you. But most importantly, we want to thank our guardsmen and women for your service, for your commitment to our state and to our country, and for your sacrifice and your dedication to every single thing that you do. You make us so unbelievably proud, and we can't thank you enough for what you're doing on behalf of our state and our country. So thank you for everything that you're doing, and thank you for making Arkansas look better than everybody else in the country. We're grateful, and we look forward to getting this place open and giving you even more and better resources than you have now. So thank you for the work you're doing. Thank you again for your leadership, and let's get this project started. So thank y'all so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now transition to the groundbreaking site located out that door to my left and approximately a 5-minute walk to the actual National Guard Readiness Center construction site. It's a beautiful day for this outdoor activity. However, we have provided a few side-by-sides for those of you that wish to ride in lieu of actually walking over there. Please note, after the groundbreaking is completed, refreshments will be served in this building. Additionally, after the groundbreaking, you will also have the opportunity to view some of the National Guard's premier warfighting equipment, set up just outside as well. Please feel free to engage the subject matter experts to get a better understanding of their warfighting function and why they serve. At this time, the official party will lead us to the groundbreaking site.